G'day folks, I'm Kim and this is my wife Faye. Kim and Faye King we are, and we're the proud owners of Jacob's Well Retreat, all this lovely garden and buildings around us which God's blessed us with. I've been here 14 or 15 years and been a bit of a journey to get here because both of us have had marriages that have fallen apart, and now God's blessed us with coming back into 3 years ago we got married again, and there's a long story towards that, but here we are, and we have 6 children between us, and yeah, we look forward to going forward in this place and the vision God has for us to create this place and convert it into a ministry retreat, a place where people can come inside and yeah, in these peaceful gardens, and yeah, just have ministry and come aside and rest.
Yeah, it has been certainly a journey for us to get to this place, with both of us coming from broken marriages. I grew up in the valley here and been married for 22 years to a farmer. I have 3 lovely kids, and I grew up a Christian, in a Christian family, but I have to confess that I was a pretty lukewarm Christian for a long time, and out of that came some pretty bad choices, and yeah, that ultimately led to marriage breakdown. I've heard someone recently just say, a preacher say, that once you become a Christian, you become very unsuccessful at sinning, which is good, because that meant that I was not happy in who I was, being a compromising Christian, and eventually through a series of events and poor choices, too many for me to go into now, I got to a place where I knew I couldn't exist as I was, and I had a marriage that was very difficult and full of conflict. There was immorality on both sides, and I got to the point where I felt like I didn't know where I belonged, because I didn't belong in the world, but then because of my sin I didn't feel like I belonged in the church either. But thankfully, somewhere there in my journey, God had impressed on me that no matter what, that He was good. So somehow I started that journey back to relationship with God, real relationship with God. He revealed to me how much He loved me at one point, and instead of just believing that I was just one of the flock that God loved, He showed me that He delighted in me as an individual and loved me, and so that gave me the strength to start turning around and getting back close to Him. And I guess I also learnt that I couldn't change anybody else. I couldn't change my husband. I needed to change me, and I needed to let God do that. And the word on a fridge at my workplace said, if you always do what you always do, you always get what you always get. And so I decided to change, and I hoped those changes would save my marriage, but it didn't. But it changed me. For one reason or another, when things fell apart, God had already prepared me and got me back to a place with Him where I was able to cope with all the difficulty and the pain of divorce. And one of the lessons that I learnt out of that was about forgiveness. I realised that until that point I thought I was pretty good and at forgiving, thought I was a reasonably forgiving person, but realised that up until then I'd only had to forgive over little things, and here was something big that I needed to forgive, and because it was so hard, I had to learn exactly what is forgiveness. And so I spent some time on that, and now I can say I'm at a place where all, I've let go. Forgiveness is letting go, letting the other person off the hook, and that brings freedom. And now, I'm restored. We're restored, and that's just a testimony to God's goodness. He brings us out of places of pain and teaches us things that we can't learn the easy way. Yeah, and we just want to love everyone with that kind of love and share it here in this place.
Yeah, and I can just go on to say, bit of a similar journey in some ways, being a farmer, brought up in the Mallee, and in a farming area that's pretty conservative. I've been a greenie, so to speak, and love growing trees and gardening, and an organic farmer as well. So I always saw that as God. When I became a Christian, I didn't become a Christian until I was about 40 years of age. So I've come out of the world, so to speak, and sometimes I think that's a blessing in hearing people who've come out of religion. A lot of baggage goes with religion. All my worldly stuff, I felt, wow, that wasn't as heavy as some of the religious. So bringing that to the table, and of course not knowing God when you come out of that place is, you're saved. It's just such a wonderful thing to know Jesus. And so to bring, and in that journey, the restoration has been a long journey, but and he has to knock the rough edges off you. So in that, as Faye came to that place where we're restored, well, there's always more work to do, but coming close to God and really believing in Him and letting Him do the work, and us backing off and decreasing is where we're at with the vision of this place. We're excited to think about the future, and to this point now where the accommodation is up and running, the vision is coming to manifest, and it's literally working. Where 14 years ago when the vision started, it was like, wow, God, this is way too big for me. And since then, been on my own and separated, and now things are being restored, marriages are being restored, children are being restored, relationship, gardens, and just give God all the praise for that. And we look forward to springing forth into the future as God promises, and not looking back too much, and hoping this place can be a blessing to many people in the future.
So out of that, we know for sure that God is a God of second chances, third, fourth, and He will always take us back, and He restores us, and He gives us a double blessing. He gives us far more than we deserve. We have this beautiful place here at Jacobsville Retreat, and we want to share it with others. If whatever your pain is, for ours, our pain has been divorce, and so if that's you, we welcome you. Whatever your pain is, or even if it's just wanting to come close to God and rest and relax, we've got the place for you here. The place has a peaceful feel. It's got great gardens. We've got 5 rooms, and we can sleep 5 to 6 people in each room. We've got it's air conditioned and heated, comfortable beds, and a kitchen for self-catering and dining room. We've got a function room if you want to come as groups and do ministry together. We have a heart for men's ministry and women's ministry. And we would just love to have individuals or groups come here and meet God and be blessed in this place as we are.
Yeah, and I received that vision was a ministry retreat. So as I'd seen some larger churches, many churches with team leaders and ministry teams being tied out at the end of their tether, and like, wow, a place where all sorts of family groups and ministry teams can come here, come aside, and just in a peaceful place and just get close to God. It's a great place to come and be restored. And it's also being out in the bush here, obviously, working in groups and that we already have through, and anyone coming off the road, it's a great place to come, and we'll look after you as well. So we don't want to be exclusively Christian, we We want to be available to anyone that might want nice, comfortable accommodation. We invite you all out there to come and just have a taste of Jacob's Well and drink some of the living water we can offer you here.